What's good, family? What's good? IOBA. My name is TC, and this is the Awareness Channel. You know, I was beating my head up against the wall, trying to come up with something I felt like talking about. And then Saturday, a friend of mine called me. We got to talking about the poor person's mentality. Now, I had talked about this before on another video, but that was, I don't know, must have been about a year ago. So, it's still happening. But it's not really it's not really a bad thing. It's just they don't have their priorities in order. Poor people, some poor people. Shit, I know because I'm not rich, I'm not poor. I'm kind of lower middle class when you think about it. But the working poor, them the people I'm talking about. And a lot of people are trying to climb out of that situation and trying to climb into lower middle class and then upper middle class and so on. I guess that's what everybody's striving to do because you want to do a little bit better as time goes on. But what some people don't understand is you got to have a base, you got to have a floor, you got to have a bottom, and that bottom, that foundation, got to be some sort of income that you know is going to be there. In other words, you're going to have to work a job somewhere and you're going to have to stay there. You're going to have to plant there while you work your side hustle into something that could produce a good enough income to where you can leave the full time job and do your side hustle full time, which often takes a long time because your side hustle is just that, your side hustle. That's your hobby that you learned how to make a little bit of money off of. And in order to turn that into a full time job, you got to scale it up a lot. You really do, especially in this day and age and the way things cost. Because believe me, the struggle is real. Inflation ain't no joke. And when you find out what inflation really is, it's an increase in the money supply. That's what inflation really is. You get more pissed off because you realize how worthless your money is and how much more of it you need to buy the same shit. That's what inflation really is. But I digress from that. What I'm talking about is people who think that if they can just get this side hustle out in front of enough people that they're going to earn enough money to, live off of it. No, they sadly mistaken. It's the successes like that are few and far between. Motherfuckers get on YouTube and talk about how many businesses they got and how many things they got. I got what, one, two, three businesses. You know, I do notary, I sell art, and I do personal training sometimes. The notary, I don't make no money from that. Personal training, I ain't taking any clients right now. And I don't sell enough art to live off of it. That's my hobby. I don't even go to no shows or any of that. But I got a bottom. I lived long enough to get old and built up enough points from working to get my Social Security. So I have a floor, I have a UBI, and I have a job, a full time job with the school district. An easy one. You see how that works? You take this fucking side hustle and you do just that with it. Once a week, 2 days a week, if you selling, you know, jewelry, if you selling after school, your time after school, whatever you doing, making sandwiches, it don't matter. You got to do that shit part time, and you got to have a full time job to back it up. I've been saying this shit to people for decades and decades and decades Or back in the day, every nigga was gonna be a hip hop star. Every nigga was gonna be a rapper. He was gonna be the next Tupac, the next Biggie, the next Method Man, the next Red Man, the next whomever, Eric Sherman. He was gonna be the next whoever. And they spent all night in the studio, you know, making CDs. A lot of them sucked really bad. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna keep it 100. A lot of them really was bad, really. And ain't now one of them niggas rapping right now. All of them working full time somewhere else. They ain't make it. You ain't gonna be the next whatever. You ain't gonna be on the Shark Tank. Chances are. Chances are you're gonna fall right there in the middle like everybody else. So you gotta do the basic things that everyone else has to do in order to survive in this economy. You dig me? You're right in the middle with everybody else, so you gotta do the same shit that everybody else do to survive in this economy. Otherwise you fucked. You just gonna keep struggling until you get old and you can't do your hobby anymore, and you ain't build up no social security points because you're working part-time all the time or at temp services or some shit with no benefits. You know what I'm saying? You don't hit 55, 60, and now you got to figure, now you got to scramble somewhere, get up in the morning, your bones is tired, you're aching and paining, and you still got to work because you ain't got no UBI because you didn't build up no points when you was young because you was working your side hustle. That's how that works. Take it from me. Don't quit your day job. There's a reason people say that shit. Don't quit your fucking day job because tomorrow ain't promised to you, and you ain't you. I promise you, man. Whatever you doing, I'm sure it's a good idea. But chances are you ain't gonna hit Powerball, and you ain't gonna become a millionaire off of what you doing. I don't give a fuck what you see on the internet. It ain't happening. It ain't happening at all. I mean, look, um, Tulsa, Oklahoma. What was that? Tariq Nasheed and Jay Morrison. Hello, brain fart there. Tariq Nasheed and Jay Morrison was his selling these shares in this Tulsa real estate project, new Black Wall Street shit they was trying to do. Turns out it was a big ass scheme, but a lot of people donated a lot of money to Jay Morrison Real Estate Fund, and and they all lost their money. And them people had the money to throw at that shit. But dude walked away with all their money. They filed bankrupt. He filed bankruptcy. Tulsa Real Estate Fund is bankrupt. Dude all on on TV apologizes. I said all that to say that if something like that, as big as the Tulsa Real Estate Fund got, with people like Tariq Nasheed endorsing it because he did, and it fails, what make you think your little mom and pop operation gonna hit it big? It's not. It's gonna be a side hustle at best to keep extra money in your pocket so you could go on fucking vacation once a year. That's what that side hustle money is good for. I'm telling you. Look, in a good year, and my art is decent. In a good year, I don't make no more than about $6,000 or $7,000 from just artwork. In a good year. In a bad year, half of that. You know what I mean? It depends on how hard I push. And I don't push that hard because, the market is pretty saturated. You got to find yourself a handful of customers that are loyal, and find yourself a good and fair price point and sell to them. I got a handful of loyal people who buy my stuff, you know. And like I said, I could probably go to more art shows and shit like that if I wanted to, but you know, I don't know if I want to work that hard anymore. For anybody that really knows me, I busted my ass literally for a long, long time at really, really difficult jobs before I went to the fucking supermarket. You dig me? So, the type of work I had to do, me and the people and my contemporaries too, it wasn't just me, but me and my contemporaries had to do the type of that shit is against the law right now. We used to hump. We made some money though. For that time, we made money. You know, but all that shit, everything we used to do is now automated. Everything that we used to do is now automated. So more and more automation is going to come down the pike. So you better get in where you fit in. You know, yeah, look, I understand that you got to have a business, but I also understand that you got probably 18 months before you make a profit in your business, and most businesses fail within 2 years. They fail. And when your business fails, you got to go back. You got to have something to fall back on. So that's my main point. Don't quit your day job. With that, I'm going to close. Y'all have a good start to your week. Don't take no wooden nickels. And don't give any out either. Peace.